You know, when all is said and done, you're just left alone thinking, how do I move on from this? How do they move on? How do they just prance around like they just got the best of me? Like they defeated me, conquered me, left me for dead. It's what many of you may be feeling. Because it's so easy for someone to say to you, you know, you just got to give it time. You've just got to be the big person. You just got to not worry about it. But I understand, you know, that it may be hard for a lot of you after what you've been through. And they didn't face justice. There was no accountability. Nothing was corrected. And it's like, what? You're just meant to move on? You're just meant to forget about it? I mean, that just doesn't make any sense. I mean, that's just... Isn't that what's supposed to separate us from animals? I mean, you know, let's say if it's a lion chasing after a deer, the lion may wound the deer, it may rip off one of its legs. The deer manages to get away. And then that's it, you know, the deer is just left to deal with that for the rest of their life. But with us as humans, we're meant to be more evolved, we're meant to be more developed. There's meant to be some sort of accountability for our actions that's meant to separate us from animals. You know, we're meant to be better in many ways. And so you're left thinking that, you know, something should be done about it. They should compensate for how they treated you. And of course, you know, that's easier said than done. Getting a narcissist to take accountability for the effect that they've had on you. I mean, that's the whole point, is that if you're dealing with a narcissist, that's likely never going to happen. Of course, you know, that's why we're all on cue talking about this. That's why we're not just out there taking action. Because we already know, you know, the odds of anything happening in our favor is highly unlikely for a true victim. Most victims never get the justice that they want. And that's just the reality of it. But yeah, you know, this video is about destroying the narcissist. You know, how do we hurt them? How do we take our revenge? I myself, you know, I'm past all of that. I've been going through this now really my entire life. You know, I've been through so many things and so many incidents. I would need a book the size of the Bible just to write everything down. So, and I haven't even got time really to look back at the past of, you know, things that were done to me, because I'm just anticipating what's coming next. Because there's always something else, you know, people are always plotting for the next big thing to do to me. But that's really it for you, you know, if the narcissist is still after you, if they're still trying to cause you pain, if you look around at your surroundings and you can see your life isn't the way that you want it to be and it's because of them, That's how you know that they're suffering. That's how you know that they're still going through it. Because otherwise, why can't you move on? Why can't things be better for you? It's all because of their pain. It's because of their hurts. It's because of their arrogance and entitlement and their dissatisfaction with their own lives. And when you truly understand that concept, you won't feel any need to get revenge on them, because you will know that justice has already been done. They're already facing the consequences of their own actions, and they have been for a very long time. And they're going to keep going through it. Because engaging in these types of behaviors, it doesn't get people anywhere. It really doesn't. There is no one in this world who can say that by doing these types of things to people, that they can feel happy at the end of it. No one can say that. Not honestly. Because it just doesn't happen. But when you give love, when you genuinely just want to love someone, and you just want to share your passion with the world, and you generally just want people to be better, that will reflect on how you feel about yourself. It really will, and you will find joy in everything. Problem is, of course, when you're vibrating at a high frequency and you genuinely do feel love, peace, it does often attract low vibrational people who want to destroy it. They will hate you for it because it's not like that for them. And of course, this is what many of us have experienced with these narcissists. But yeah, I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's get right to it. Let's talk about these 5 ways that you can destroy the narcissist. Number 1, and many of you may not have even thought about it this way. It may have been the last thing that you were even thinking about. But number 1 is cutting off access to yourself. That's one really powerful way to destroy the narcissist. Once you understand that everything they're doing is for a reaction. It may look like they've moved on, they got the better of you, they conquered you. No. It's fake and superficial. So it has nothing to do with true connection or fulfillment. It is dependent on your validation. So you have to validate it. You have to agree with it. You have to be on the same frequency, the same wavelength, where you acknowledge it and you're like, yes, okay, you won. I don't feel good. I feel shame. I feel like I've lost. That's what you have to do for it to feel real for them. It is not self-validating. That's why they always need new supply. That's why they just suck the life out of you and then turn against you and devalued you. And then threw you away for something else. Because it's not self-sustaining. It needs people's validation. And it especially needs your validation because you saw through it. You saw it for what it was. And so, if you cut off the access to yourself, it will destroy them. It will hurt them. Because that's really the platform that they're standing on. You are the glue that holds them together. Two, You need to look like you're thriving, even if you're not feeling it right now. Now, of course, it's going to take time for you to move on after the things that they did, the damage that they caused to you. I mean, of course, that's not just going to get better overnight. And that's exactly what they're counting on. You staying stuck. You ruminating about everything they did to you. And how it's like, they could do those things to you and still they won. Still, they got the result that they wanted. And they moved on and they've got this new supply. And you're the one who is left alone. You're the one who is left stuck. You're the one left wishing things could be different, better. As long as they can keep you in that state, they're fine with it. That's exactly where they want you. But you take small steps. Improve your appearance. Build friendships. Develop hobbies. Even just focusing on the little things in life. Because you can find joy in everything. If you just allow yourself to tune into it. Because sometimes, when things happen, things are done to you, it really just brings you down and you become so depressed. And you're just on autopilot, you're just going through the day. You're not even breathing properly. So what you need to do is just stop and just take a deep breath in first. Inhale and exhale the oxygen. Reset your senses. Maybe even just close your eyes for a moment. Tune everything out. And just focus on your inner world. Fill yourself back up. Replenish yourself. After you've just been depleted. And you've been trained to tune your senses and your attention to something else. Something that does not feel good for you right now. So bring everything back in. And when you're ready, open your eyes. And now, start your day again. Cook yourself a nice meal. Something that's going to make you feel good. Something healthy, vegetables. Make it flavorful. Add seasoning, spices. And really savor the taste of it. Focus on what you're eating. Chew methodically. If you have time at some point in your week, go out for a walk and just look at the trees, the colors of the leaves, listen to the birds singing. Bringing yourself back into the world, because when you've experienced trauma, you're constantly in flight, freeze, fawn, maybe fight. So you want to step out of that. And yeah, the world feels so new. Everything just feels so different. once you just stop, because they have been taking you in a completely different direction based on their own trauma. They've been directing you somewhere else, to a place that does not feel good. They've been just dragging you along, so you need to stop, reset your senses, breathe in deeply, close your eyes. And now, experience the world again from your own sense of direction, from your own guidance, and from your own autonomy and vibration. And yeah, now focus on the little things. This is something they can't do. Like when you're eating and you're savoring the food, you just do something nice for yourself. You go for a spa day, you go for a massage, and you really just tune into it deeply, fully embracing your sensitivity to where it truly fulfills you. And not just during the activity, but afterwards. And it really just stretches on for weeks, even months. Just an inner sense of peace and fulfillment. It's never like that for them. And yeah, seeing this in you, seeing this this new glow, they really envy that. Just seeing, knowing that you had a good time, that you're feeling good about yourself now, because they don't get to feel that. And that's really it, you start small, take small steps. It's not all about big things, because by doing that, you're still in their world. When you're trying to act like, you're just super successful now and you love yourself, they can see through that. That's what they do. So of course they know it when someone else is doing it. Of course, it's a different thing if it's your job, if it's it's your image, if you're an entertainer or an influencer. But otherwise, it just comes across as insecurity. So you don't have to be so loud. Keep things simple, keep things quiet. Hope everyone's doing okay in the live chat today. Good to see you all here. Stupad says, don't give them any attention or access. Yes, that was number 1. Number 2 is look like you're thriving, even if you're not. And now let's get into number 3. So I know it may be tempting, especially if you think you've got all of the answers, you've got all of the evidence. Don't ever take that to them. It's a waste of time. They lie for a reason. They hide things for a reason. Not because when you finally find something out and you bring it to them, that they're finally just going to admit everything. No, of course not. And this is why number 3 is do not confront or expose them. Because it's actually what they want you to do. They love drama. Many of them, they enjoy confrontation. Because they already know what they're going to do. They're going to manipulate you. gaslight you, spin you around in circles until you start questioning yourself, doubting yourself, not knowing which way is up or down, not even remembering your own name by the end of it. Yeah, they love that. Many of them, they love it when you confront them because they've already got it all planned out of how they're just going to make you feel like a fool, of how they're just going to shame you and twist it around and blame you. So don't give them the satisfaction of that. Instead, leave them without an audience. Leave them without a sense of control. And just hold on to it. The things they did to you, hold on to it, remember it, document it. Let them fear it. Let them anticipate the revelation of it, so that they have to live the rest of their lives in fear, wondering when you're going to expose it and the potential effects of it. And that's how it is for many of them. You know, they're constantly just in fear, paranoid, wondering who knows what about them, who has secret information on them. That's why they're constantly just scanning the environment. They can never be calm. They can never be at rest because they know they've done some horrible things to people. They know that they're not always so good at covering their tracks. So yes, they are constantly going about the world, looking around and reading into things in a very paranoid way, fearful that people may be onto them. And this is it, you know. This is why really one of the worst things you could ever do in this situation is to confront them, expose them, tell everyone about what they've been doing, even if everyone believes you. All that does is make everything feel very calm for them, because now it's all out in the open. I mean, again, maybe at first it may be causing a lot of anxiety for them. But then gradually, as time goes by, it all becomes normalized, and it's like, all right, you know, everyone, I get it, everyone knows who I am, what I've done. And they get over it. They get used to it. And then time just passes by and it's just all over. But when you don't reveal it, when you don't confront or expose them, now they have to live in fear and paranoia because it's not all out in the open and people aren't just acknowledging it or seeing it. So that's how you hurt the narcissist, is by not exposing them. Exposing them just destroys your whole game. You just sabotaged it all yourself at that point. When you can keep it suppressed, when you can keep it hidden, when you can avoid going into that temptation of revealing it, you've won. That's how you gain the advantage. That's how you gain the upper hand, is by having secret information or evidence on them and not revealing it immediately, taking your time, letting it stretch out for as long as you can, so that wherever they go, they're still in fear as a result of the horrible things that they have done. Of course, you know, it may be difficult for you to understand, to put yourself in their shoes, but that is the worst part of it for them. It really is. Knowing that they've done someone wrong, knowing that that person has something to say, has evidence, could expose them, and they're just waiting for it. That's a horrible experience for the narcissist. So yeah, recognize that those of you who have had certain experiences with a narcissist or possess certain evidence, you have a lot of power in that situation. And your power does not come from revealing it or exposing it or confronting them. You may get some power from that, but not much. The power comes from letting it stretch out for a long period of time. That's where your power comes from. Number 4 is heal your trauma bond. So the narcissist bonded you to them in a traumatic way, in a way that produced a lot of frustration. And you were trapped in the fear, obligation, and guilt, feeling like you had to be something for them or prove something to them. And that's what is feeding them. Having you with a lack of confidence, questioning yourself, doubting yourself, thinking that you have to be or do something for them. So stop doing that. Stop obsessing, defending, hoping, explaining. Instead, you need to validate yourself. You don't let them push you back. You don't sink into yourself. No, you come out. And you can actually do this with your body language to really affirm and reinforce it. Because what happens is, when they're trying to dominate their perception of you and your perception of yourself and kind of like rewrite your identity, you sink into yourself. So your shoulders become more rounded, your chest sinks inwards, and you tend to maybe cover the abdomen or the genital area. And at that point, you're really under their influence and control. So what you want to do instead at that moment is bring your shoulders back, stick your chest out, and without any fear of being harmed. And you just state in your minds that, no, this is who I am. I know who I am. I define myself. You validate yourself instead of going off of their cues, because they will give you all of the different cues, all of the different explanations, trying to tell you who you are, or trying to brainwash you into thinking you're this way, you're that way. No. You will never get a sense of who you are from outside of yourself. It comes from within. You define yourself. You don't ever need anyone to compare you to this or to that, or to tell you that you're not this or that. And yeah, this is it. This is the whole point. Why they have to do this. Why they have to get you to doubt yourself and prove who you are to them, to obsess, defend, explain, justify. It's all because nothing terrifies them more than someone who doesn't need them. Someone who can just go the other way and be like, I don't care what you think of me. I don't care about how you define me. You're not going to change my perception of myself. I know who I am. This is who I am. This is what I like to do. This is what means something to me. Narcissists hate that more than anything. Not having that control. Because they have to manipulate people's perceptions of themselves so that they can change how they see them. So yeah, if you were to hurt a narcissist, just be your own person. Be independent, be autonomous, be free. Don't question yourself. Don't doubt yourself. Reaffirm who you are to yourself. Define yourself. And now let's get into number 5. The 5th way to destroy the narcissist. Keep yourself busy. Because what the narcissist likes to do is isolate you. They like to sabotage everything. I mean, before you get involved with them, you're independent. You're doing your own thing. You've got all of this stuff going on. You get around the narcissist. Now you're not working. You're not engaged in activities. You have no friends. You have no money. You haven't got anything. Your entire life, your entire thought process just revolves around them. They're the center of your world now. And that's exactly where they want you. They do not want you to be busy. They do not want you to be occupied. They do not want you to have all of these things going on because that means less time for them. So knowing this, you know how to destroy them. Don't be available for them. Because that's what they want, you know, they want that supply on tap 24 hours a day. This is why they like to manipulate, brainwash. They rewire your brain. They use all of these different stimuli, all of these little things they like to do. And it could be anything. I mean, you know, you may know what it is in your particular situation. It could be something where you hear a text message or a phone call or the car coming down the drive. There could be some type of stimulus that already, again, you're thinking about them. Your life is revolving around them. They're your only source of influence. There's nothing else going on. They make your world small. This is what narcissists do. You need to expand outwards. You need to be bigger, not smaller. Not so small that they could just fit you in a box and carry you around. You need to branch outwards so that you cannot be controlled. You cannot be influenced because you have so many other things. You've got your fingers in all of the pies. I'm a vegan, so I don't really like this analogy too much, but you've got your eggs in all of these baskets instead of just one basket. But yeah, just don't always be available for them. So, no late night replies. Don't be laying at bed at night thinking about the narcissist, thinking about the last message they sent to you. That's exactly where they want you. This is why they play all of these games at night. They'll send some ambiguous message to you that leaves you to overthink. Or they'll send a picture. And it could be anything in the picture. It could be something subtle that grabs your attention and it makes you think, you know, what is going on? And then they'll disappear for days, weeks, even months. And you're thinking about it all that time. Your life just passes you by. And it's like this entire phase of your life is defined by them. But you're just in a box. You're just thinking about this thing you were going through with them. You're just thinking about the last message they sent. You were just thinking about were they with someone else that night? Or it just expanded into something else and you're thinking, oh, they were meant to be here at that time. Maybe they were with them there as well. Maybe the last few months they were in this relationship with another person, cheating on me. You see how this happens? And you see what they do. They leave all these little clues and stuff. And they do a lot of these things late at night so that you can't sleep. And it targets your nervous system. And then it affects your dreams and it bleeds into the next day and the next day. Before you know it, weeks, months, years pass by. This is what they want to do. They want to dominate your entire life. So stop doing that. No late night replies. And no checking to see if they saw your stories. Remember, there's never any genuine interest or interaction with a narcissist. They never genuinely care about anything you're doing. They're just looking at it as though, so I've seen this in your story. Well, this thing is just taking you away from me. So I'm going to mimic it. I'm going to fake interest. Or I'm going to attempt to sabotage it in some sort of way so I can regain control. That's all that it is. So, try not to look so deep into things. Do not respond to the breadcrumbs. And do not respond to mutual friend updates. Forget about their friends, their connections, or anything that they're doing. At this point, you should know that whatever they're doing, it's no good for you. And that's all that you need to know. And what you need to focus on now is things that are going to serve you, things that are going to benefit you. So take that away from the narcissist. Remember, they want emotional access forever. Because without it, they experience abandonment, panic, rage, obsession. And if you're not there to see it, it makes it even worse. So, yeah, this is what they want. They want to keep you stuck, tied to them. And this isn't a connection. This isn't a relationship. This isn't anything that's ever going to serve you or make your life any better in any sort of way. It's always going to be holding you back, keeping you trapped, confined, imprisoned, keeping you tied to them as their slave, essentially. Holding you hostage. So, yeah, it's time to break free. And by doing that, you destroy them. Because you are their life force, you are their sustenance. So yeah, this is what you have to do to destroy the narcissist. But yeah, I just finished recording a gang stalking video. Hopefully it will be up tonight. But if not, then definitely by tomorrow. Yeah, just enjoying doing more and more gang stalker videos, sharing them with you. And just knowing, that it is making a positive change in the world. But yeah, anyway, if this video was helpful and informative for you today, please give it a thumbs up. And let's work together to get it out there so that other people who need to see it will see it. And if you have any questions or anything you'd like to share about your own experience, drop it down below in the comment section. I read all of your comments, and we do have a wonderful community on here. We all support each other. If you're new here, subscribe and click all notifications to be notified when I upload a new video. And for more resources on narcissistic abuse, you can check out our website. It is narcsurvivor.co.uk. I post new blogs on there every day, and you can book a one-on-one with me on there as well. So again, that's it for this video. Thank you all for joining me. I appreciate all of you. And I will talk to you in another one